Hey, good morning, Central. Yeah, so good to be here. I'm thrilled to be back. Last time I was here was April of 2019. And actually, it was a Sunday, a very difficult Sunday for you, for me, for all of us. It was a Sunday after your former pastor, beloved pastor, Dick Gay, had passed. And that was a really hard day for me, a really hard day for you. I am so thankful to God that He has been faithful to you and has led you so well since that time. Glory be to His name. And I'm also really, really thankful for you and for your faithfulness to Him since that time over some very difficult waters. But look where you are now. God has done so many, many great and good and glorious things. Praise be to His name as He's worked through you. Now, we need to do, before I get into the text today, we need to do a little bit of housekeeping. There are three things that I want to do by way of housekeeping. First of all, I want to welcome Pastor Anthony back. All right. Taisha, it's good to have you back, Welcome back. I trust that the sabbatical was restful, renewing, and refreshing. It's great to have them back with us. Secondly, it's already been said, but I want to say it myself. If not to you, at least to me. Happy Father's Day, okay? And here's what I'm looking for. I am looking for a card that says, Best Dad Ever. And I know that's not true. I'm not the best dad ever. But at least on this day, I can kind of have a couple minutes of make-believe and think like, man, I'm the best dad ever. I hope you get a card like that too. Finally, third bit of housekeeping is to take a look at that name, Rastusha. That's my last name, Rastusha. And I need to share with you the hard, awful truth about that name. It's an Italian name. What I'm going to tell you is really true. I did not make this up. That word, Rastusha, in Italian, if you went to Italy 300 years ago, this is an old Italian word. If you went to Italy 300 years ago and you heard someone say about me, oh, Rastusha, what that person would be saying is that guy is really, really, really boring, dull, He's going to put you to sleep when he preaches. So if you didn't get a good night's sleep last night, you're in the right place. You're with Rastusha, all right? So let's get into the text this morning. As you know, from what's already been presented, this is the last sermon in a series of sermons on the parables of Jesus. And boy, I feel like I get the prime of place here because I get what to me is like my very favorite parable of Jesus. It's called the parable of the prodigal son. At least that's what people generally call it. It's not called that in the Bible. And the prodigal son, so you hear that, and some of you may be thinking, gosh, I'm not sure I know quite what it means, but I'm sure I'm not prodigal. And others of you, at least probably half of you, are thinking, I'm not a son. So what does this parable have to do with me? But as is the case with all the parables, Jesus told this story for you. And there's stuff in this parable that when you get it, suddenly opens up your heart to the love that God has for you. So, I want to read the parable to you. It's longer, but I want to read it, and then we'll get into it. All right? It's Luke 15, verses 11 to 32. Jesus also said, a man had 2 sons. The younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the share of the estate that I have coming to me. And so the father distributed the assets to both of the sons. Not many days later, the younger son gathered together all that he had, and he traveled to a distant country where he squandered his estate in foolish living. And after he had spent everything, a severe famine struck that country, and he had nothing. So he went to work for one of the citizens of that country, who sent him into his fields to feed pigs. He longed to eat his fill from the pods that the pigs were eating, but no one would give him anything. So finally, when he came to his senses, he said, "How many of my father's hired workers have more than enough food, and here I am dying of hunger? I'll get up. I'll go to my father, and I'll say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight. I'm no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants.' So he got up, and he went to his father. But while the son was still a long way off, his father saw him, and he was filled with compassion. He ran, he threw his arms around the son's neck, and he kissed him. The son said to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight. I'm no longer worthy to be called your son.' But the father told the servants, 'Quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. And then bring the fattened calf and slaughter it. And let's celebrate with a feast, because this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and he's found.' So they began to celebrate. But now, the older son was in the field. And as he came near the house, he heard music and dancing. So he summoned one of the servants, questioning what these things meant. 'Oh,' he told him, 'your brother is here, and your father has slaughtered the fattened calf because he has him back safe and sound.' Then the older son became angry. He did not want to go into the house. So his father came out, and he pleaded with him. But he replied to his father, 'Look, I have been slaving many years for you, and I've never disobeyed your orders. Yet you never gave me a goat so that I could celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours came, who has devoured your assets with prostitutes, you slaughtered the fattened calf for him.' 'Son,' the father said, 'you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate and rejoice, because this brother of yours was dead and is alive. He was lost, and now he is found.'" This is God's word. Let's just pause to pray. Eternal God, there are many, many things going on in the world today. There are many, many issues, problems. We've gathered here in this place to freely worship you and to hear a word from you. We've worshiped, and now we ask, Holy Spirit, that you would bring through me a word to your people. Feed your flock. For those here who are not yet Christians, may this be a moment when they come to understand better what Jesus is all about and what following him can really mean. Please, Holy Spirit, be present in power. In the name of Jesus Christ we pray. Amen. What's the most important thing about you? Is it your job, your family, your friends, your education? Is it your faith? Is it your background? Is it the color of your skin? Is it your politics? Is it the car that you drive or the sneakers that you wear? What's the most important thing about you? There are lots of answers to that question. But above them all, my favorite answer to that question, the answer that I think gets to the heart of everything, is the answer that was given by a pastor, about 50, 60, 65 years ago. His name was A.W. Tozer. He was a pastor and a writer. And this is what he wrote in answer to that question. What comes into our minds when we think about God is the most important thing about ourselves. In other words, the most important thing about you is what you think about God. And if you think about that answer, you realize, gosh, that's such a powerful answer, because what you think about God determines what you think about your job, about your family, about your education, your background, your faith, the color of your skin, your politics, the car that you drive, the sneakers that you wear. It determines everything. It's like the fountainhead of purpose and meaning in your life, what you think about God. Now, you would think that if you've been following Jesus for any period of time, that you would finally have clear thinking and true thinking, accurate thinking about God, about who he is, the kind of stuff he does, the attitude that he has toward you. But following Jesus is a process. And part of that process is learning to recognize and to lay aside the old patterns and thoughts that you have when you think about God, and to allow God the Spirit to replace them with new thoughts, new understanding about God. I mean, that's my experience. I have been a Christian for over 50 years. I've been a pastor for 35 years. I now mentor pastors, as Anthony said, all around the world. You would think that I would finally have clear thinking about God, especially, as I'll explain in a moment, especially God the Father. But here's the thing. The first 20 years of my life, I had a seriously dysfunctional relationship with my human dad. And because of that, I still have ways of thinking, default ways of thinking, that kick in at all the wrong moments. I mean, my dad communicated to me, I was one of 6 boys. My dad communicated to me consistently that I was not the kind of son that he was hoping for, that I was not like the other 5 of his sons. I was the odd one out. And to this day, when it's quiet, when kind of everything is still, when I kind of settle into a chair and start to think about God, it doesn't take too long for me to feel like, gosh, I'm a real disappointment to him. Gosh, I think he just barely tolerates me. I mean, he has to love me because Jesus died for me and rose again and has given me new life, and I'm one of his children. So God's obliged to love me, but he doesn't like me. He puts up with me. Is that how you think about God the Father? I think that's not just true of me. I think that's true of just about every human being. That we have built in, because of sin within us, this default thinking that God is our enemy, that God the Father is out to get us, that God puts up with us and just can't wait to be done with us. Now, it's at this point that we need to turn to the parable of the prodigal son. Because what Jesus teaches here is a radically different view of God the Father. I mean, you can get God the Son. Of course you get that Jesus loves you. You know, you learn that if you went to church as a kid, you learn Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. You know, Jesus died for me, he rose again, he bore my sins. This is the gospel, this is new life. I get it that Jesus loves me, and I get it that the Holy Spirit loves me. He works in my heart, he brings me hope, he brings me courage. I get that, but God the Father? He's just so distant, so aloof. He says that he's the Father, but gosh, I don't get that love like I get Jesus in the Spirit. What today's parable is teaching, what today's parable is telling you, because it was told for you, what it is teaching is that God the Father's heart for each of you is far more prodigal than you could ever imagine. Far more prodigal. Now, why do I say far more prodigal? What do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to answer that question with 3 whys. And the first why is, well, why do I say that Jesus' view of the Father presented in this story, this parable, is so prodigal? You see, in this parable, Jesus teaches about God the Father. I mean, all the attention typically goes to the Son, right? Because it's the parable of the prodigal son, you know? So there are paintings and drawings and stories based on the parable of the prodigal son. That's where the attention goes. But really what Jesus is doing here is teaching about the Father. Because in the previous 2 parables, this whole chapter consists of 3 parables, Luke chapter 15, in which Jesus is consistently teaching about who God the Father is. That's his focus, is on the Father. And when you think about the parable of the prodigal son, you think, okay, it's the parable of the prodigal son. And so you think, okay, what was his son like? He was debauched, he was immoral, he was self-centered, he was kind of over the top and wild living. And so prodigal must mean debauched, over the top and wild living. How could God be prodigal? But the fact is that word prodigal doesn't mean debauched. What it means is simply excessive, over the top, big in anything, really big in anything. And the point of the parable, what Jesus is telling us, is that when it comes to God the Father and his compassion and love, he's big. He's really big. He's prodigal in it. And that's what he describes in the center of this parable. Look at the text. I mean, you've got the son now, the younger son, and he's off in this far country, and he decides he's going to go back to the father, and he's wasted all this money, and he's a real embarrassment, and he comes back, and look at the details about the father in relation to the younger son. He's looking, and he sees him from a distance, and he doesn't cringe, and he doesn't get angry. Instead, he's filled with compassion, and he runs to him. So, I mean, you got to think of a guy, you know, back then, like a first century guy, and he did not have jeans on or shorts. He had on a long tunic, so he had to pull that tunic up, and he's running, you know, kind of holding his dress up kind of thing, you know. Guys, that's a strange kind of thing to think about. And he's running, and maybe he's older, you know, so he's kind of running like this. You know, he looked totally goofy, but who cares? There's my son. And he runs to him, and when he gets to him, he hugs him, and he embraces him with true affection. So he doesn't just obligingly love him. He likes him with deep, robust heart. And then he clothes him with a robe and with sandals. And then he says, slaughter the fattened calf and let's have a feast. And then he proclaims to everyone, this my son was lost, but now he's found. He was dead, and he's alive again. What a beautiful, beautiful picture of a Father God who truly loves and likes all his children. When God loves someone, this picture of the prodigal son is the kind of love that he has. It's over the top in its devotion, in its care, in its patience, in its goodness. Now, I want to be clear here. We don't just by being born enter into this love. I mean, the whole point of the gospel is that Jesus, the Son of God, shed his blood so that the pathway could be opened up for God the Father's love to be poured down upon each and every woman and man who puts their faith in Jesus, who becomes a follower of Jesus by faith. But once you've done that, and I hope you have, once you by faith have been born again into God's family, the way is now opened for the overflowing, prodigal love of God the Father to be poured down upon you. You know, on another occasion, Jesus, knowing that this would be a real issue for his followers, on another occasion, in fact, just hours before he was arrested, a day before he died, on another occasion, Jesus said to his followers, "The Father himself loves you." I think he knew that we would need that. I love that word himself. The Father himself. In other words, it's not just Jesus the Son, it's not just the Holy Spirit, it's the Father. The Father himself loves you. And he loves you with a prodigal love, so that he loves you and he likes you and he's patient and caring and kind and devoted and attentive to you. But we don't get that. And so the parable goes on. There's more to the parable. Because in the parable now we take a look at the father. Now there's a younger son and an older son. And each of those sons represents a different issue that we have in understanding God as a prodigal God when it comes to loving and liking his children. So let's take a look at the younger son. And the second why. Why don't we get this prodigal love of God? Why? Let's take a look at it. Why some of us don't get the Father and his prodigal love for us by taking a look at the younger son. And the younger son doesn't take too long to get him. He wants his inheritance right away. He gets it. He goes off to a far country. He squanders it in wild living, as the older son will say it later on, in promiscuous lifestyle with prostitutes. He squanders it all, and he winds up in a very bad place. And finally, he realizes what's going on. And that's like some of us. I mean, he finally gets it, but let's go to the prodigal son before he gets it. What's going on there that shows us a pattern of not getting the prodigal love of the Father for us? And the fact is that we can, like the prodigal, in different ways, want everything our way. And we take what God the Father has given to us and we spend it on all the stuff that we want. Whether it's, a lifestyle, a fancy lifestyle, whether it's our lusts, our controllable impulses, our uncontrollable impulses, our urges, our raves, our parties, whatever. We take the stuff that God's given us and we spend it on all the wrong things. And then finally we may wake up and say to ourselves, "Dude, what are you doing? Dude, why are you here? Dude, what have you done?" And that combination of sin and then guilt or shame, that combination blocks us from really understanding how the Father's looking and waiting to pour his love and his like on you. So here's what that might look like. Some of you doubt God's prodigal love, his affection and care for you, because of maybe some big stuff you've done. Maybe a big thing you did that was wrong. You know it's wrong, that you did yesterday or a week ago or a month ago or a decade ago. And it sits there in your heart. And you feel like, how could God the Father ever like me? Some of you struggle with repeated stuff. It just keeps coming back and back, and you say to yourself, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm just not going to do this anymore. And 3 days later, you've done it again. And you say, why? Why have I done this? How could God the Father really like me? Some of you struggle with sins that are public. You did something, other people knew about it. You're so ashamed. You say, oh gosh, what those people must think about me. And you think, gosh, what God must think about me. Some of you struggle with private sins. Some of you struggle with sins of power. Some of you struggle with sins of weakness. Some of you struggle with sins of pride or of greed, whatever. That stuff is going on. And just like that younger son, you can feel just so distant, so far away from God and his love. But there's a way forward. Just like the younger son. Just like the younger son. You can realize, come clean about the stuff that's come between you and God to God. You can say, I'm gonna do what I need to do to tell God right from my heart. I don't deserve to be your son. This is what I've done. I don't deserve to be your daughter. This is what I've done. Please, please forgive me. And his affection and forgiveness and care and love will pour down upon you prodigally, in abundance, over the top, big, washing you clean. It's time. It's time for those of you who are like a younger son to come back to God the Father and rediscover his prodigal love for you. Now let's talk about the older son and the third why. Why others of us don't get the Father and his love. Because we're like the older son. Check the older son out, okay? He clearly in the story, he lives with the dad, at least in the same house. He won't go into the house if the party's going on. Clearly, he seems to be doing all the right stuff. You know, as he says, with the real edge, all these years since the younger son left, all these years I've been slaving for you, and I've never disobeyed anything that you've asked. Clearly he works hard. Clearly he breaks a sweat. In other words, this older son is the one that's meeting the grade. He's getting an A+. He's performing just the way a good older son, just the way a good Christian should perform. But underneath it all, things are not as good as they appear. Because it takes just the right situation for this animosity, this anger, this resentment toward the Father to come out. So when the son comes back and the party is thrown, he says, all these years I've slaved for you. I've never disobeyed you. And you've never even offered me a goat. Not to say a fattened calf. And this son of yours, you celebrate. Oh, there's bitterness there. There's resentment. There's anger toward the Father. Now, what might that look like in a church like Central? mean, maybe some of you feel like this. God, I do all this stuff for you. I go to church. I serve in different ministries. I give. I sacrifice. I have daily times with you. I do all the right stuff. But I don't feel God. Don't feel like you give me enough credit for that. Because there are some things that I want you to do for me and you don't do them. There are people that don't realize that I do all this for you. I don't feel like I get the credit from them either. And this kind of resentment of performance. I'm performing the right way for you, God. Why aren't you performing for me? That kind of discrepancy is the breeding ground for resentment. Maybe not, that's too strong a word, maybe just distance, a little bit of detachment, a little bit of aloofness from God the Father. So if the younger son doesn't get the Father's love because he's prodigal, the older son doesn't get the Father's love because he's a performer. He does all the right things, and he's expecting some sort of payoff. The older son, the younger son, both present two different fundamental reasons why we don't get the Father's love for us. And just as I said about the younger sons, so I will say to you who are like the older son, it's time for the older sons in this congregation to come home, to come back to the Father and rediscover his deep affection, his love and his like for you. Now, this afternoon, you can go onto the internet and you can type into your browser the prodigal son in the key of F. And you will get a funny little rewrite of this story of the prodigal son with a lot of F's in it. So, for instance, the prodigal son in the key of F begins this way. Feeling footloose and frisky, a feather-brained fellow forced his fond father to fork over the family finances. He flew far to a foreign field and frittered his fortune away, feasting fabulously with faithless friends. Now, at the key moment in the parable, when in the Gospel of Luke, the son says, my father's hired workers fare far much better than I. I'm going to go back. In that moment, in the prodigal son in the key of F, it reads, phooey. Fathers, flunkies, fare far fancier. And I don't care if you're like the younger son and you don't get God's love for you because you're prodigal. I don't care if you're like the older son and you don't get the Father's love for you because you're performing and expecting. In either case, phooey. Fathers, flunkies fare far finer. I want to go back. I want to gain a fresh new sense of God the Father's prodigal love for me. So, the way Jason Gray put it in his song, Remind Me Who I Am, is this. He wrote it this way. When I lose my way and I forget my name, remind me who I am. In the mirror, all I see is who I don't want to be. Remind me who I am. In the loneliest places, when I can't remember what grace is, tell me once again who I am to you, that I belong to you, that I'm the one you love, that I'm the one you love, that I'm the one you love. I'm going to ask you to pray with me, and then I'll give you some quick next steps. Let's pray. Father God, you are prodigal in your love to us sinners. In abundance of generosity, you gave us your Son. And through him and through becoming a follower of him, we are brought into your family freely. And you pour upon us blessing and care and love. And I pray for each and every person here that she or he today would recover a deep, refreshed sense of your great fatherly love for them. I pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Hey Church Online family, thanks for watching Central's YouTube channel. But don't stop. I want to invite you to be a part of our online community. Subscribe to this channel so you don't miss a single video or live stream, and share it with friends. If you'd like to partner with our ministry, go to our website and click on the Give button to help us continue to reach people around the world for Christ. And we want to connect with you. You can fill out a Connect card on our website under New Here. Thanks so much for watching, and God bless.